Hello ladies and gentlemen, and oh my have we got an extremely spicy one for you today. At long last we've finally got some compatible Warhammer mods. Yes, they've finally arrived ladies and gentlemen. Today we've got a gigantic orc war that is around about 700,000 strong. Orcs from all kinds of life have showed up to join in this war. We got sluggers, we got your standard orcs, we got goblins, you name it, they're here ladies and gentlemen. And today in their last stand formation facing off against them, we've got Space Marines and Death Creek Corps here as well, defending here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's only about 3,600 defenders here, but they've got some extreme firepower. They do have a few Sherman tanks as well. However, these are meant to represent Lehman Russies. Unfortunately, there isn't a Lehman Russ model yet, so hopefully we can get one of them soon. So, heading over to our tactical map here, you can see that we've got about 7 groups of standard guardsmen here. Each of these has about 500 guardsmen in it, so they are quite a few all stacked up here. We have got 2 at the front, they're sort of the sacrificial lambs today, ladies and gentlemen. And then on the hills to the right and to the left, we do have our Space Marines. Of course, they had to take the high ground for fire superiority. We do also have one little group of Space Marines in the middle to helping to support the guard in the center. And of course, at the back, backing them up, are our Sherman Lehman Russ tanks. I have placed 2 groups here at either side. This is just to help any flanking maneuvers that may come around and try to outflank our position here. Let's kick off today's battle then, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my, I've waited a long time for this. A gigantic orc war, constantly overflowing with violence and brimming with greenness. Currently heading towards our Imperial Guardsmen. Look at these, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I know they're a little bit glitchy at the moment. I hope the devs really get a hot fix for this. Seeing troops do push-ups, it's funny for a little bit, but after a while it sort of gets a little bit of immersion breaking. But at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, our first volley from the Guardsmen is going out. You can see they've got quite a bit of range on them, and the orcs already taking brutal losses. The poor old slugger boys here. I think these specifically are from Dawn of War 2. I quite like that game. What a game that was. But yeah, look at them. They have got weird broken necks. Sorry, Bella. Where are they? There we go. They've got weird broken neck syndrome going on at the moment. It's a little bit weird until they die, and then it seems to correct itself. But oh my, I have waited such a long time for this. It is so exciting for me. Look at this. An actual orc war in the hundreds of thousands heading towards a Warhammer defense line here of the Imperial Guard, supported by Space Marines. No, where are they? Here we go. There we are. I knew they were here somewhere. Supported by the Space Marines here on the hill. I love this. These heavy bolters are absolutely devastating. Look at that. The high explosive rounds here just ripping asunder this orc war. That has not even got close to the front lines yet. Definitely holding out the flanks here really nicely. You can see these are the groups at the side here, holding out against these flanking orcs. It looks like they're dealing primarily here with the slugger boys. Oh, there's so many of them. So there's probably about 200,000 of each there. I think there was 300,000 of the standard orcs, 200,000 goblins, and 200,000 of the slugger boys. So it is quite a big war that we've got heading towards our way. However, the open field at the moment is really playing into the guardsman's hand. They're able to lay down massive amounts of fire superiority here, just ripping us under the orc war horde. I was going to call it a walk then, I don't know why. It's just, that's how they are. That's like an orc war. That's a walk. Oh gosh, this filling field has been absolutely filled up at the moment. Heading over here on our flanks, you can see that the orcs are trying to push through. They haven't been successful yet, but they are building up troops little by little. The guardsmen are going to hold this position quite nicely for now, but look at this. They are spreading out massively over this entire area. On the other side of the battlefield here, ladies and gentlemen, it is no different. In fact, they haven't even started to push the guardsmen over there yet. They are still trying to push this front line. We've got these weird little tendrils where a lot of orcs just seem to channel down this one path towards them. I guess that's the closest point to the nearest guardsman. Happens to be you two here. I wouldn't like to be you two. Pretty much you've got about 100,000 orcs looking at you two specifically. Yeah, that's not a nice position to be into. But our line is holding out strong at the moment. The orcs, just thousands have died. 50,000 we're coming up to really, really rapidly. The goblins I'm not expecting to put up much of a fight. The slugger boys are the ones with the health here. However, these normal orcs have got the speed, so hopefully there's plenty of meat shield here for our slugger boys to be able to get close. Let's go have a look at our space marines though here. Look at this. Oh my god, they're already making insane body piles here, ladies and gentlemen. Raining fire down right onto the orcs just below them. Oh, look at that. The amount of bolter fire just ripping through these lines is insane. They have chosen a really good spot here. How are we doing on our flank over here? Yeah, so they are actually getting closer now, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. The orc numbers are starting to amass. There's quite a few of them over here, actually. Look at this. God, the spacing between these slugger boys is really massive. Modder really should, if he can, reduce the spacing, because that is insane. Look how spread out they are. They're never going to be able to swarm like this. No, they are getting closer bit by bit, it must be said. He's working to some degree. I guess a lot of the guardsmen are distracted on this side specifically at the moment, because yeah, look at all these faster orcs getting much closer. How are we doing over here now? Has our body pile improved? Well, it has improved. It definitely has got bigger. There's a lot more corpses here now, and you can see that they've got a really nice path right up to the Space Marines. However, the Space Marines are not about to run off from that, ladies and gentlemen. They'll happily stand there and blast their foes. Our second line of guardsmen is being engaged. The bait target at the frontier is what most of them should be going for. The Ork WAGH basically has no direction, ladies and gentlemen. It just wants to kill, maim, burn. And the guardsmen just so happen to be in the way of it. Oh my god, there's so many orcs have died now though. 98,000, 99,000. My god, that kill counter is going up insanely fast. How are we doing over here? So it does look like finally now a few of the orcs have meandered their way over to our guardsmen over here. There they are, unrelenting, auto guns at the ready, just blasting the ever-living crap out of the front line here. Helped, of course, by the Space Marines on the hill. Oh my god, that bolt of fire raking the lines here is devastating. They must be getting like 10 kills a hit, easily. Especially with the goblins around. Like, the goblins just die so quickly to a normal bullet, so a bolter gun is just going to absolutely destroy them. Though our front lines are holding out, I must say it does feel like the orcs are getting closer bit by bit. They are getting still torn up though. Jeez. Them auto guns of the guardsmen are really strong here. I think these slugger boys need slightly more health as well. After all, they are genetically modified meat shields. Oh god. Come on, let's see. Can we actually hold out against this? We haven't lost many troops so far. The guardsmen haven't. 41 in fact. That is not many at all. Considering they've killed 132,000 now, that's pretty dang ridiculous. The orcs are definitely getting closer over here though. Look at this, they're actually managing to get to the line over here. This war is getting out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. It does look like we're getting a few pathing issues actually. Are you boys? Yeah, you boys are really struggling here, aren't you? Okay, yeah. So, unfortunately, it does look like the slugger boys are a little bit broken. I did test this out a few times, and it has happened basically every single time. Yeah, so I think it's to do with the spacing of the unit itself. Because it's so large, it just struggles to path beyond itself. So you just get little blockades like that where they struggle to pass through. But at the moment, the rest of the orcs and goblins on the front line over here are pushing through. There's 545,000 of them remaining though. Look at this. It is a gigantic army over here. A proper deluge of green is coming in towards them. They've actually managed to get over towards the second line here. The Space Marines overlooking them, not doing enough here. Come on guys, you need to help out your fellow guardsmen here. They're getting absolutely stomped by orcs currently. But they've got such a field of fire up here. They must have thousands of kills by now. Now, this side over here, the flank is still holding. You can see orcs are still pushing out and around further and further, trying to encircle this group here as they are over here. It's not been successful yet, though we are at 82 losses now for the guardsmen. Things could get hairy from here on out, especially with this body pile filling up here. It's just going to give more and more access to the Space Marines that are on the hill. Oh my god, I just can't get over this bolt of fire, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely devastating the orcs here. That is a lot of heavy firepower coming in on top of their heads. So what I think we'll do is we'll quickly hit a time-lapse camera and see if these orcs can get any closer to our front line over here. We'll have a nice view of the bolters in the background and the foreground over here as well. So we'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Orc Horde has made a little bit of progress here. 455 guardsmen have now perished, and I'm starting to guess it's pretty much from these two areas here. Though, ladies and gentlemen, look at this over here in the distance. I don't know if any of you noticed during the time-lapse, they have actually been completely swarmed over here now. There was 500 guardsmen here in total. I expect now that there's less than half their number. So this entire flank could collapse at some point, and yeah, look, they are still bunching up really weirdly over here. I don't know what is going on. It's almost like ants. I don't know if any of you seen them nature documentaries where you see like the warriors make a line either side and all the workers go through the middle. I think that's what they're doing here. That's we're just going to say it's orc herding tactics. They're not broken, no, not at all. Let's go have a look at our front line over here with our Space Marines now. I'm not sure about you, ladies and gentlemen, but it doesn't look like we've lost a single Space Marine over here yet. They've been holding out this position stalwartly for God knows how long. After all, they are Space Marines, though. We'd kind of expect that from them at this point. They've been laying the smackdown on this Orc war here. Just look at this. The bodies are piled up really high here. That is actually kind of insane when you think about it. This is a large surface area to be covered in this many bodies. How's our front line doing over here, though? Oh, I see. The very, very front line now is under constant bombard of speedy little orcs here. We got goblins moving in as well. The goblins are really little nippy things, though they do not take much to kill at all. You can see every now and then a tank shell from the Lehman Russ does go off and devastates a bunch of them. Looks like these guardsmen over here have been faring out a lot better, though. However, on this side, they are getting chewed through little by little. God, look at this body pile here. These Space Marines have been laying the smackdown as well. It cannot be denied. Oh my God. This is absolutely fantastic. At last, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually managed to have an Orc war here. This is fantastic. Warhammer has finally made its way to Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator, and Pinky could not be happier. All we need now is everything else. We need all the fantasy stuff like... I actually imagine that Warhammer Fantasy, like the medieval stuff, would fit into the game a lot better than the 40k stuff. It just lends itself more naturally to melee combat, and I'd just love to see a bunch of Chrome Berserkers going ham on a bunch of Empire soldiers and some dwarfs. It'd be absolutely amazing to see that kind of stuff. Hopefully we can get all that kind of good stuff in the game at some point. I'd love to see some Chaos Space Marines as well. That'd be nice. Jeez. Oh my God, how's our flank doing over here? See, this is what we're waiting for here. There's only a few guardsmen left here. And when this flank falls, well, there's going to be a massive surge of orcs, goblins, and other orcs coming in through this area. It's really weird to say that. There's three kinds of orcs here today. Oh, look at this. That's weird. What a weird pattern that's formed. We've simply got a load of goblins who are now pushing the middle. Is that not weird? How's that happened? Oh look, and it's happened over there as well. It seems like the goblins then have sort of like pushed around all the weird flanks here and ended up with a bunch in the middle. That's a nice little pretty pattern we made there. Almost looks like the Tesla logo, actually. In fact, it is. We've made the Tesla logo or a pair of underpants. One of the two. I'm not quite sure. How are we doing over here? Okay, the guardsmen have finally fallen, and now the Slugger Boys are making their way towards the Lehman Russes. I don't know how effective they're actually going to be against these Lehman Russes. It'll be interesting to see. There's not many of them. How are they doing over here, though? Yeah, again, it doesn't look like we've lost a single Space Marine yet. They're just blasting everything at point-blank range with extreme bolter fire. It's kind of ridiculous. You've absolutely got to love it. Oh, the body pile. Look at that landscape, ladies and gentlemen. Is that not a wonderful thing to see? All we need now is more ammunition types in the game so we can start seeing actual variation in the combat. That'll be fantastic if we can start seeing missiles and different types of bullets and machine gun bullets, you know, that kind of stuff. It'd be really good to see. But I suppose there's basically limitless possibilities now that modding has come along. So let's hopefully get some... I'd love to see grad rocket barrages. Oh god, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Sorry, I'm just fantasizing now about all the crazy things that we could have in this game. But at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, our line is holding out very nicely. The Imperial Guardsmen here have lost 1,200 troops now. That is kind of a lot, considering there was only 3,600 of them to begin with. Orcs flare flying through the air. Oh, fantastic stuff to see. So what we'll do then very quickly is hit another time lapse. We'll probably have it over this side here, see how long these Space Marines can last, and if that front line over there does collapse. So we'll be back in a second. Sorry to interrupt the time-lapse here, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to point out how insane it is that these Space Marines are still holding out here. They have been swarmed now for the best part of, what, 10 minutes at least? They've had no one here attack but themselves. They've been completely swarmed at every single second, and they are just holding out. They do not care. They have blasted through so many orcs that they're actually starting to glitch out on the bodies here. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. I don't even know if these Space Marines here can actually die. I think, like, realistically, maybe only gunfire is the thing that's going to take them out. Certainly, melee is not doing it at the moment, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. It's ridiculous. They've just, look at this. The body pile's insane. This is hundreds and maybe thousands of dead orcs around them at the moment. God, Space Marines here, just completely living up to the name. But yeah, we'll go back to our time lapse. We'll be back in a second. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely ridiculous now. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. 20 minutes they've been held out here. 40 Space Marines, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much completely unsupported. The guardsmen on that side have all died. The tank fire was mainly focused on the front line, and I must say, the rest of the army has been cleaned up now. But, my God, look at this. 40 Space Marines here, ladies and gentlemen. And they've just devastated and dominated and held this entire corner all by themselves. Absolutely ridiculous, but that is exactly what I'd expect from Space Marines. You can see most of the orcs now are only bothered in this one area. They just want the Space Marines. They're not even bothering to attack the rest of the guards line over here anymore. And look at this. We've actually managed to fill up the area with a little bit of blood. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but you've got to think how big this area is. We've actually had to wall it off, first of all. So we walled it off with bodies, and then after we'd walled it off with bodies, and I mean, look at that. We really did wall it off with bodies. That's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, after we walled it off with bodies, we then proceeded to start filling it with blood, and we've done an excellent job here today. We've done an excellent job here today, ladies and gentlemen. My God. An orc an orc war here has just been turned into absolute mush. Nothing but a green carpet on the floor now. And Operation Mop-Up must be declared. There's only 31,000 remaining. And I think we're just going to watch these remaining 40 Space Marines here just mop them up. That's basically what's going to happen here, ladies and gentlemen. So, once again, we'll be back in a moment. Maybe they won't mop them all up because we've got a few glitched out over here. But we'll be back in a second as this... as the Space Marines finish toying with their evening dinner. Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, the final remaining orcs, only 4,000 of them remaining, and my God, that kill counter is going down rapidly. They've already lost 500 orcs before the cameras even zoomed in. That's absolutely insane. These Marines here, totally overpowered. Actually, let's just go do a head count here and see how many they actually lost. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They lost 1. Okay. That is stupid. They lost a single Marine in that group there. Let's go have a look here, because each one of these should have about 20 in it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And this group lost 1. Oh my god, that is absolutely stupid. Look at the body pile they've made, and they lost 2 Marines. That is stupid. That's absolutely ridiculous. How is that even possible? How did they even lose 2 Marines? That's what I want to know. Perhaps he lost his footing and fell down, that's what we'll say. But yeah, that is absolutely ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. They only lost 2 Marines in that entire engagement. Okay, well, yeah, I think it's safe to say that the Orc War has been completely crushed here today, ladies and gentlemen. 700,000, sorry, of them absolutely devastated by the Guardsmen, the Death Corps here. Oh my god, living up to their name. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end this one here. I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A massive shout out to all our channel members who helped keep this channel going. And as a special reward, your extra content is now available. So go ahead and watch that. And if you're not a member, why the heck not? Go and click the join button below. And if you're looking for some handy dandy artwork, links are in the description. Go check them out. With all that being said, as always, until next time, peace.